This is Bruce Tremper with the Forest Service Utah Avalanche Center, and today we're going to talk about how to read avalanche terrain. When you're heading uphill, often you come to critical decision spots. So believe it or not, this itself is a critical decision spot. I can either go up this spur ridge in front of me or go up the gully. So which way do I go? I always go on the spur ridges and not in the gully. The reason why is because gullies are a terrain trap. Even small avalanches can bury you deeply in the bottom of a gully. Whereas on a ridge, if you do trigger an avalanche, the avalanche tends to spread out and leave you high and dry. So it's easier to survive an avalanche you may trigger on a ridge than in a gully. Here we're looking at a slope where they triggered an avalanche about a foot or a foot and a half deep. And if it was on a different slope that had a nice gentle run out, especially with an avalanche airbag, you have a much better chance of surviving the avalanche. But this slope, on the other hand, goes into a narrow terrain trap. Now, even an avalanche airbag is not going to work very well on a slope like this. When you're choosing avalanche terrain, by far the most important thing is slope steepness. The avalanche activity, according to slope steepness, bullseyes right around 39 degrees, plus or minus about 5 degrees. So from about 34 to 45 degrees is where almost all avalanche activity occurs. So if you're going to go onto slopes of that steepness, you better be sure you have very, very stable snow conditions. A really important factor of terrain is the direction the slope faces, which we call aspect. For instance, that slope over there that's lit up in the sun is a south-facing slope because it's faced obviously towards the sun here at almost the winter solstice. On the other hand, the slope across the way in the shadows is a north-facing slope. A really handy way to know which slopes are dangerous and which slopes are safe are go to the Utah Avalanche Center website. On our Avalanche Advisor, we have what we call a danger rose. So we plot the avalanche danger by aspect and elevation. The center of the rose is the top part of the mountain, the high elevation. The outside of the rose is the bottom of the mountain, the low elevation. So it's kind of like looking down on a cone-shaped mountain, if that makes sense. And then we plot on there the north, south, east, and west. So you can, at a glance, just instantly see where the dangerous slopes are and where the safe slopes are. For instance, in the middle of the winter, the dangerous slopes are usually on the north to the east-facing slopes, and in the spring, the dangerous slopes are usually on the south-facing slopes. So remember, this is just a short video tutorial. If you really want to know how to read the terrain and travel through the terrain, be sure to take a field-based avalanche course. And if you want to know more about the gear involved, for instance, rescue gear or backcountry travel gear, then talk to the gearheads at backcountry.com.